Say this once you enter the masjid, and you're guaranteed to be protected from shaitan for the rest of your day. You're walking towards the masjid. You're about to step inside. There's something that the Prophet ﷺ would say at this moment, at the threshold, before stepping inside. And when you understand what happens when you say it, inshaAllah ta'ala, you'll never skip it again. The hadith is from Abdullah ibn Amr ibn al-As. He tells us that when the Prophet ﷺ would enter the masjid, he would say, أعوذ بالله العظيم وبوجهه الكريم وسلطانه القديم من الشيطان الرجيم. I seek refuge in Allah al-Azim, the great, and in His perfect face, وسلطانه القديم, and in His eternal authority from shaytan, the outcast, the accursed. Now, what happens when you say this? The Prophet ﷺ said that shaitan says, he has been protected from me for the rest of the day. Now let's break down what you're actually saying, because every phrase here is powerful, it's incredible. أعوذ بالله العظيم. I seek refuge in Allah the Great. أعوذ means I seek protection. I take shelter. I'm not standing here exposed and vulnerable. I'm placing myself under Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's protection and care. أعوذ بالله العظيم, the magnificent, the great, the grandiose, the one whose magnificence has no limit, the one whose greatness encompasses everything. The scholars say azama. Azama is a comprehensive attribute. You can't have azama, magnificence, without sovereignty, without authority, without absolute richness, without strength and power. All of these things come together to make Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala al-Azim. And when you're seeking refuge, when you're asking for protection, then of course you're going to want to ask protection from someone who's great, someone who's powerful. And so you're seeking protection in the one whose magnificence towers over everything, including shaitan. وَبِوَجْهِ الْكَرِيمِ, and in his perfect face. Now you're seeking refuge in an attribute, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's face. And of course, this is a real attribute that befits His majesty. It's not metaphorical, it's not symbolic. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has a face that befits Him. And the proof that this is an actual attribute and not just His essence is that you already sought refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at the beginning. And so if His face was just another element of His essence, then you'd be repeating yourself for no reason. No, I am actually being more specific now. I'm seeking refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'm being more emphatic that I'm seeking refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's perfect face, وَسُلْطَانِهِ الْقَدِيمِ, and in His eternal authority, His sultan, His authority, His management, His power, His subjugation of all of His creation. Everything is under His control. Al-Qadim means the eternal. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is an awwal, the first. There's nothing that's before Him. And so it's established in His names. But Al-Qadim is not one of the names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It doesn't come in the Quran or authentic Sunnah as a name, but it appears here as an attribute of His authority, Sultan al-Qadim. So I'm seeking refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's eternal, unlimited, absolute authority. That authority that controls everything, including shaitan. I'm seeking refuge in all of that from shaitan al-Rajim, from Satan, the accursed, the outcast, from shaitan. Ar-Rajim. And Ar-Rajim means the outcast. And you know, even rajam means to cast. It means to cast stones. And so shaitan is outcasted from the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ar-Rajim, fa'il, basically means the one who is stoned. He's expelled. He's cast out from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's mercy. He's cursed. He's reviled. And every time he's mentioned, he's followed with this cursing and condemnation. He's stoned with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's curse. He's stoned with the shooting stars. He's stoned with the curses of creation. So you're seeking refuge in Allah from the one who is distant from all of that good, who's expelled from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's mercy, who's cursed and condemned. Now notice the structure of what you're saying, okay? You're not just saying, oh Allah, protect me from shaitan. You're not doing that. You're seeking refuge in specific attributes from shaitan. In Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's magnificence, in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's perfect face, in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's eternal authority. These attributes form your fortress, your shield, your protection against shaitan, who's the one who casts whispers into people's hearts, who tempts them towards evil and immorality, who beautifies sin, who threatens you with poverty if you give charity. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "Ash-shaytanu ya'idukum al-faqr wa ya'murukum bil-fahsha." Shaitan threatens you with poverty and orders you to immorality. That's his job. That's what he does. All day, every day, he's working on you, trying to pull you away from good, trying to push you towards evil. But when you say this dua at the door of the masjid, he backs off. He gives up. He says, he's been protected from me for the rest of the day. حُفِظَ مِنِّي سَائِرَ الْيَوْمِ. Sa'ir means the rest, the remainder, whatever's left of the day. Now, what's really interesting is how grandiose this dua is to be protected from shaitan, but also in the location. Let's first speak about in general. Let me bring it back to Surah Al-Falaq and Surah Al-Nas. In Surah Al-Falaq, you seek refuge in one attribute of Allah from the evil of four of his creation. You seek refuge in the Lord of the daybreak from the evil of his creation, of the night, of magic, and of envy, right? But in Surah Al-Nas, you seek refuge in three attributes of Allah from the evil of shaitan. That's it. So just that showcases to us how evil of an enemy shaitan is to us. That you seek refuge in three attributes of Allah in Surah Al-Nas, قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ النَّاسِ مَلِكِ النَّاسِ إِلَهِ النَّاسِ. From what? مِنْ شَرِّ الْوَسْوَاسِ الْخَنَّاسِ. From shaitan. And the rest of the surah is just describing shaitan. Now the second thing is, where are you making this huge dua? In the masjid. Let's look at two locations. One is the place that Allah hates the most, and the other is the place Allah loves the most. Where does Allah hate the most? The Prophet ﷺ told us it's the marketplace, it's the suq. Now, when you enter into the marketplace, this place that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hates, what do you say? You say, La ilaha illallah, wahdahu la sharika lah, lahul mulk wa lahul hamd, biyadihi al-khair, wa huwa ala kulli shay'in qadir. This is a great and beautiful dua as you're entering a place that is filled with deception, haram contracts, false oaths, lewdness, nudity, oppression, cheating, and so much lying, and everything else that markets involve. And the Prophet ﷺ, when he was speaking to the tujjar, when he was speaking to the people of trade, he said to the people of trade, he said that the tujjar, the people of business, they will be resurrected on the day of judgment, ma'al fujjar, with the people of transgression, with the wicked, except for those who have taqwa of Allah and who behave charitably and whoever are truthful. And so being counted with the wicked in business is actually the factory setting. That's the default. But the exception are those who are able to exclude themselves from that through their righteousness. And so I say all of this to say that the marketplace is that place that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hates the most, and yet when you're walking into it, you're making this really beautiful light dua, La ilaha illallah, wahdahu la sharika lah, lahul mulk wa lahul hamd. But when you're entering into the masjid, the place that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves the most, it's like you're getting ready for war. أعوذ بالله العظيم وبوجهه الكريم وسلطانه القديم من الشيطان الرجيم. You would think that would be the dua for the marketplace. But that's what you say when you're entering the masjid. The question then becomes why? Why am I making this huge dua when I'm entering into the masjid? It's simple, because that's where shaitan is waiting for you. He's not worried about the people in the market. They'll take each other to Jahannam on autopilot. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us all. His focus is on the believers, those who pray. That's why there's a shaitan called khinzab, designated with distracting you in the prayer, as reported by Muslim. But also he's there to spoil the brotherhood and the sisterhood. The Prophet ﷺ, he said, إِنَّ الشَّيْطَانَ قَدْ يَئِسَ أَنْ يَعْبُدَهُ الْمُصَلُّونَ وَلَكِنْ فِي التَّحْرِيشِ بَيْنَهُم. Shaitan has given up hope being worshipped by the people who pray. But what remains is instigation between them, instigation. That's why so many people complain of masjid politics, egos, backbiting. People say, I don't want to go to the masjid. Why is it so toxic? People judging you and talking about you. Why is it that I go to non-Muslim spaces and people are so nice and so welcoming? I get it. We all need to do our part to make sure that our masajid aren't like that. But did you ever think, even if my masjids have these sins, they're still better than other venues where other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is being worshipped? Shaitan got them on his biggest goal, so of course he's not worried about whether they judge each other for the way that they dress. A person might go to a concert and rave about how everybody was so not judgmental. Meanwhile, they did a satanic ritual on stage. Shaitan, of course, is cool with them being welcoming. But the masjid, they're worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone, so shaitan can't get them on the big stuff. So he just keeps pushing along all the petty, annoying, small stuff that we recognize. This dua protects you from all of that. Think about your relationship with the masjid. For some of us, the masjid is where we go 5 times a day. It's our second home. For others, the masjid is once a week for Jummah, or once in a while when we're happy to be in the area. Either way, whether you're there constantly or rarely, every single time you enter, this dua should be on your tongue. Every single time. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us from the people of the masajid, and may He protect us from the shayateen in all of our affairs, and grant us the tawfiq to remember Him at every threshold we cross. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. If you're enjoying this series, inshallah ta'ala, and the other programs that we're creating on the channel, as well as the AlMaghrib podcast, please do like, subscribe, and share, inshallah ta'ala, and let others know. It really helps the channel grow.